Hello guys and welcome back to another edition of Carp Life Tutorials, and in this video I'm going to show you how to set up your very own or very first lead clip system for carp fishing. So as I'll have a little run through first. A couple of years ago when I first started fishing, I was float fishing, which is good. A lot of people start off doing float fishing and that was fine, but I started getting a bit bored because there was guys on the bank on swims next to me and across the way catching fish like this and like this and like that, and you ain't doing that on float fishing. I was catching all these little small ones, and I thought, I was looking along and I was thinking, I want a slice of that cake. So for me to be able to actually do that, obviously I'm going to need to change my whole system, my whole setup. Float rod and the small reel that I was using wasn't adequate or good enough. Prior to that, I had been looking at videos and it just looked very complicated and loads of different rig setups and this and that, and I thought, well, I'm never going to get that. Anyway, I decided there's got to be a way of doing it. So I looked on a YouTube video and I found a real simple video, easy step-by-step guide on how to do it, and it was this lead clip setup. There's lots of different setups. You can use like run rigs, helicopter setups, blah blah blah, but we won't get into that today. This is the most easiest one to use. Versatile, easy, and it's probably the most widely used carp setup, lead setup there is out there. So let's get into it. First of all, obviously you're going to have your rod setup, you're going to have your main line, you're going to thread your main line through the eyes on the rod, and then obviously you're going to need to grab, first thing you're going to do is you're going to grab the end of your main line, and then you're going to need to get yourself a length of rig tubing. Now, the rule of thumb for this rig tubing, the idea of rig tubing is to go onto your main line and is to help with tangles. So it's like an anti-tangle property sort of thing you can use, and it's you need this for this setup. So you're going to grab your rig tubing. Rule of thumb for this, as I was saying, is as long as your rig tubing that you cut off, it comes in like a few meters or whatever, but you want to cut off enough, as long as it's longer than your actual rig, then you're good to go. So the first thing you're going to do, like I said, you're going to grab your main line, get your rig tubing, thread on your rig tubing into the main line. It can be fiddly, but obviously if you're patient enough, take your time, it'll happen. So you want to thread your main line, or just keep pushing it gently like that, all the way through until it exits the end of your rig tubing. There we go, start to come out now. Then you want to grab the end of your main line, push that rig tubing down a bit, just so you've got the end of your main line again. Now the next bit, you're now going to thread on a tail rubber. So you want to get yourself a tail rubber. On the tail rubbers, you've got a thin end and a wider end. You want to thread it onto your main line via the thin end first. So you get that threaded on. There you go, and then you can literally drop that and let that run down your line. Grab the end of the main line again. Now you're going to add and thread on a lead clip. Again, a thick end and a thin end. You want to put it on the thin end first. So thin end, thread that through till your main line comes out. This time, you've now got all your three pieces on your main line. Your rig tubing, which you put on, your tail rubber and your lead clip. Now you want to piece them all together. So you want to get your rig tube in and you want to push. You have to be a bit forceful with this. You want to push your tail rubber and your rig tubing into your tail rubber. Only a few mil. So you have to give it a little bit of a sort of a wiggle. Hold each end quite stiff and tight and push that rig tubing in until it is secure and in that tail rubber, so it's connected up together. Only, like I said, a few mil in the end, but so it's in there nicely. And then you want to do a similar thing with the lead clip. You want to push that into the tail rubber, but for now, literally just want to push it in a little bit, not all the way on, just a little bit on the end like that. And then drop that down, grab the end of your main line again. And now with here, I'll show you the best I can. Lighting isn't perfect, but I'll show you. If you don't get this and you can't see it very well on here, you can get there's plenty of YouTube videos on how to do these. and tutorials. So you want to tie now a quick change, or any swivel, but I use the quick change one because it's easier to chop and change your rigs. So you want a size 8 quick change ring swivel. Before you do that, you're going to need to tie yourself an overhand loop knot in the end of this main line. Now I'll try and show you the best I can. As I said, if not, there's plenty of videos on how to do it. So you've got your main line again. You want to grab a good length. You want to turn it over. So you've now got a little loop. Pinch it together like this. And form another loop in that loop you've just made. Pinch it together. Now you've got that taggy bit. And with that taggy bit, you want to bring it through, round, and put it through that big loop there. So this can be the fiddly bit. So yeah, you want to push it through till it comes out the end, holding it all tight. And before you pull it down tight, wet the knot. Always wet your knots so there's not friction and it doesn't, you know, it binds together properly. And then you want to literally pull it nice and tight so you're left with something that looks like that, with a loop. Now you've got a bit sticking out, a little taggy bit, which is your tag end. That tag end there, you want to trim off as close as you can. I won't say overly close, but quite close to the knot. So you want to snip that off like that. So all you're left with is a loop. There's a loop in the end of your main line, like that. Now, with that loop, you want to grab it, pinch it a little bit, pinch the loop to make it as small as you can. And through the ring of the swivel, you want to push that main line through the ring of the swivel. I can't get too close to the camera, let me do that. So you want to push that through the ring of the swivel, through the ring of the swivel, and then you want to bring the swivel back through the loop. So it's like that. Pull it a little bit tight so your swivel is attached onto your main line. If you didn't see that too well, because this lighting isn't the best, I will have to sort that out at some point. Just Google how to attach a ring swivel to your main line for a lead clip setup. So that's that. And then now, all those other pieces you've threaded on earlier, you want to pull it up to that ring swivel like this, and then you want to grab your main line, pull it tight so that if you pull it, you want that swivel to go inside here. So you pull it tight so that it goes in. There you go. Now that ring swivel, if you do it properly, you should hear a little click, and that means it's embedded in there properly. So now you've got your setup there. What has happened is the rig tubing's come out of the tail rubber. If that happens, just push it back in again. Same as what I said before, give it a little squeeze, push it into the tail rubber. So what you want to be left with now, is your main line, you've got your rig tubing, into your tail rubber, and you've got your lead clip and your swivel. So you're left with this. Now all that's left to do is to grab a lead of your choice, and with that ring on the end of the lead, you want to clip onto your lead clip. So you want to pull ever so slightly that tail rubber off just a little bit so you can get your lead on there. So there's a little arm. There's a little arm here. Just there, look. I'll try and get it so proper so you can see it. And then you want to clip that onto there. and then put your tail rubber, squeeze it back over. Important thing here is to never ever, you can do, but I wouldn't advise it, is you don't want to push that tail rubber too far over. You don't want to have it so it's like that. You want to literally push that tail rubber on just so it's over a little bit. So if you get snagged up, it will come off and that lead will eject, so the fish will be safe. So now you should be literally left with something that looks a bit like this. And then here, where your quick change swivel is, you'll go and attach your rig. So you want to get a rig of your choice. In this case, just a normal hair rig with 2 pieces of fake corn on the end. With an anti-tangle sleeve over the top. You want to get your quick change ring swivel. You want to clip on your rig. Let's get that on there because that can be fiddly as well. So you want to clip. I told you this could be fiddly, guys, and it can be bloody fiddly. So you want to get that on there. Clip that on. And then you want to pull up your anti-tangle sleeve. Pull up your anti-tangle sleeve so it goes over the quick change part on the swivel. So now you're left. So now you're left with that. And the tubing's bloody come out again. As I said, if it does that, just keep pushing it back through. But it's only doing this because I'm trying to make a video and I can't show you too well on the video. But now you should be literally left with something like this. Oh my God, it's done it again. Guys, things have to go wrong sometimes, don't they? Nothing goes bloody perfect, does it? When you do this, this won't happen to you because the reason I've just figured out why is I've got a little split in the end of that tail rubber, obviously because I've used it before. So there you go. Got your rig tubing, your tail rubber, your lead clip, and your rig all attached to it. And you're ready to rock and roll. Couldn't be simpler. Let's face that down here. There you go. And that, guys, is the lead clip set up for carp fishing. Couldn't be easier than that. Hope you've enjoyed the video, guys. Sorry about a couple of mishaps that happened in there. I will see you guys in the next video. If you could subscribe to my channel, that would be absolutely amazing. As you can probably tell with a few of these videos there, I am obviously new to doing this. I will get a little bit more professional as I go. But yeah, that's it. That's your lead clip set up for your carp fishing. Get out there. Go get some fish on the bank. If you do, tell me what you caught in the comments. Anything else in the comments you want to see, let me know as well. And subscribe. Yeah, guys, see you in the next video.